Good morning and welcome to BenBinFro's Thought for the Day for Tuesday the 6th of December. Today we're in 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 in the New Testament. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 verses 1 to 12, and I'm reading from the New International Version. My name is James and I live in the hamlet of Islington. Paul's ministry in Thessalonica. You know, brothers and sisters, that our visit to you was not without results. We had previously suffered and been treated outrageously in Philippi, as you know, but with the help of our God, we dared to tell you his gospel in the face of strong opposition. For the appeal we make does not spring from error or impure motives, nor are we trying to trick you. On the contrary, we speak as those approved by God to be entrusted with the gospel. We are not trying to please people, but God, who tests our hearts. You know, we never use flattery, nor do we put on a mask to cover up greed. God is our witness. We were not looking for praise from people, not from you or anyone else, even though, as apostles of Christ, we could have asserted our authority. Instead, we were like young children amongst you. Just as a nursing mother cares for her children, so we cared for you, because we love you so much. We were delighted to share with you not only the gospel of God, but our lives as well. Surely you remember, brothers and sisters, our toil and hardship. We worked night and day in order not to be a burden to anyone while we preached the gospel to you. You are witnesses, and so is God, of how holy, righteous, and blameless we were amongst you who believed. For you know that we dealt with each of you as a father deals with his own children, encouraging, comforting, and urging you to live lives worthy of God, who calls you into his kingdom and glory. So here we are, we're in Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, and doing a bit of research. It's in the New Testament. It was written by Paul the Apostle, likely to be written in Corinth in around 50-51 AD, after Jesus had died on the cross. And it's written for the church in Thessalonica. And in chapter 2, it have a bit of a review of Paul's previous ministry in Thessalonica, and also he starts to talk about his desire to be with them again. And here he talks a lot about desire. He talks a lot about desire of how and passion, really, the passion that they had to share the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ, with the people of Thessalonica and the church there, and to encourage them. But he also talks a lot about not being a burden, and the fact that he wanted to share good news but with no conditions. And I really like how he talks how there was sort of no human witness or no human judgment there, because he wanted to live to God's conditions and live to the standards that God was seeking them to live in their glory, and not to burden the people there, and just to really share the good news. And the bit I love the most is really in verse 6. We were not looking for praise from people, nor from you, nor anyone else. And basically, he's doing it because he has a passion in his heart to tell people the good news of God, and not to do it because it's the right thing, not to do it because he'd be accepted, not to do it because he'd have a certain badge, but just really do it freely and openly because of that passion. And I think, how many times do we have that passion in our lives today? And how many times do we just are so excited about something that we share that good news with people with gay abandon, to use that old phrase? And we don't, I think. And even though we're excited to know God, and even though we're excited to be blessed by him, I sometimes wonder whether we are weighed down and we struggle to have that gay abandon about telling people about the good news of Christ, as Paul did back in Thessalonica. So my prayer for you today is to discover some of that gay abandon, to discover some of that joy. Have a great day knowing God, and you never know, pray that you might have the opportunity to share your love of him and his love of you with someone who doesn't know that today. Amen.